Infamous Caitlin Clark critic enters transfer portal and immediately faces NCAA community's wrath. Over the years, we have seen Caitlin Clark absolutely change the landscape of women's basketball. But if you think of her Iowa days, more than her competitive aura or signature logo threes, it was her 2 free throws during an early 2024 March game against Ohio State that etched her name in history in the most absolute fashion. Yes, the one where she broke Pete Maravich's 54-year-old scoring record. While she made a historical feat personally, she also added another layer of rivalry between Iowa and OSU. Then, with less than a second left to the first half, both the teams were going towards their benches when OSU forward Cody McMahon pushed Clark out of her way. What was next? The forward got a whistle, and the guard made a trip to the charity stripe. As if to rub salt on fresh wound, the NCAA scoring record coming to her name at that point only added to Cody's woes, and she kept receipts. Later, when the Hawkeyes battled Holy Cross in the NCAA tournament's first round, Clark picked back-to-back whistles. Obviously, she didn't like it. She went straight to the official to start a debate, but Kate Martin got in between. Making a note this time, Cody tweeted, "I'd have a tech in a heartbeat actually ejected." With this, the battle began between the Caitlin loyalists and McMahon. Fast forward to today, when she entered the transfer portal after OSU's back-to-back early March Madness exits, the Clark fans did not hold back either. Recently, on 3's Talia Goodman reported, "Breaking. Ohio State's Cody McMahon has entered the transfer portal," sources told at On3 Sports. The news first broke on Wednesday when McMahon reshared post by @MajemSynthegem. The caption in that read, "One of my favorite people and players has entered the transfer portal. Ohio State do it all bowler at Cody McMahon 32, a special player and person. Known her since her 7th grade year. She will be highly coveted. Good luck, champ." The post was a video of her clips from the hardwood, absolutely knocking the air out of her opponents. The decision came after the Buckeyes lost in the second round of March Madness, second time in a row. This time, it was the Tennessee Lady Volunteers who showed them the door in a Cinderella story with 82-67 Value City Arena. Interestingly, last year as well, the No. 7 Bucks lost to a lower-seeded No. 7 Duke that handed them an upset. Carmelo Anthony warns the WNBA as Juju Watkins' injury leaves NCAA future in jeopardy. After the game, McMahon was seen visibly frustrated by the outcome and was reported to be saying explicit words to the Lady Vols HC Kim Caldwell later while shaking hands. The forward was a key offensive player in OSU's roster. She took the team to the Elite Eight as a freshman in a historic run the program didn't achieve since 1993. However, seems like with the Bucks coming down 8 players already, she wants a fresh start. But wait. The ghosts of what she said about Caitlin Clark and Iowa are not done yet. A recent post on X by Caitlin Clark fan page, CC Report, left no room for doubt. "Whoever ends up getting her, I will root against until the end of time." McMahon, a 2-time All-Big Ten first-team selection and the 2023 Big Ten Freshman of the Year, has always played with fire. This season, she posted impressive stats. 16.5 points per game, shooting 37.4% from 3, along with 4.7 rebounds. Yet, for many, her on-court demeanor has overshadowed her stats. Cody McMahon's transfer re-sparks rivalry with Caitlin Clark as fiery temper raise questions. Cody McMahon has earned a report for her emotional outbursts and on-court intensity. During Ohio State's loss to Tennessee, McMahon took an unnecessary shot in the final seconds instead of running out the clock, despite her team trailing by 15 points. Unwritten rule or not, 15 points is a big difference even for a quarter at times. So, stat padding? But there was more. Tensions escalated further in the post-game handshake line when McMahon appeared to slap at Tennessee head coach Kim Caldwell's hand and shouted something toward Tennessee's players. It is hard to ignore that incidents like these may make certain programs hesitant to bring her in, despite her undeniable talent. One user said, "Doubt if she'll land anywhere important." OSU's coach probably breathing a sigh of relief. On the other hand, her talent is undeniable, but will it fit all systems? Another user admitted, I'm gonna def be torn if Iowa gets her. McMahon clearly views her rivalry with Clark as something personal. After Ohio State's January 2024 win over Iowa, McMahon emphasized, "Absolutely, this game was personal." Others weren't so civil, 100%. Cootie is a stain. McMahon is undeniably a fiery competitor, but her aggressive approach has sometimes crossed the line. Earlier this month, she went viral for her pointed comments about Iowa, claiming, "Not gonna get into all of it, but let's just say they're a little disrespectful as far as how they view us. So we take that personal, I take that personal." These takes might be coming out of the fact that OSU is already a known rival of the Hokies. However, given McMahon's history with the program, it reaches another level. Another user said, "I think most coaches will be cautious with this one. Great player doesn't equal great teammate. Is she coachable? There's a difference between being passionate about your game and being a hothead. I saw more of the latter. In Ohio State's regular season final against Maryland, she fouled out in overtime. Upon hearing something from the crowd, she responded by flipping both middle fingers at the opposing fans. It is understandable that during the heat of the moment, things happen. However, teams wouldn't want to host a player who loses their cool more often than not." Referring to the same incident, a user remarked, "Is this the middle finger chick?" McMahon made headlines in March 2025 when she directed double middle fingers at Maryland fans after fouling out in an overtime loss. With Ohio State also losing Taylor Thierry and Ajo Petty to graduation, McMahon's departure signals a significant shift for the Buckeyes. With McMahon in the portal, who takes the risk? Powerhouse programs like South Carolina and LSU have the depth to absorb her fire, but will they take the chance? A return to the Big Ten is possible, but after her viral clashes, some teams may hesitate. One thing's certain, her next move will be a must-watch.